So, welcome back to the Coach's Corner podcast. We are on episode 8 and we are doing a 25.3 cap and also just a general overview of the CrossFit Open and a bit of shout outs from a few of our members. We have got Coach Dan with us today. So, say hello, Dan.
Hello, Dan. We should explain why we call him Shaft. It's nothing. It's not that good of a story though, is it? No, but at least people know.
I heard it was 9 inches.
Yeah, let's just keep it at that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm called Shaft. The Shaft.
So what we're going to go into is 25.3. What did we reckon of the workout? So you first, Chef.
I think it was a great one to finish on. Definitely from an accessibility point of view. I think there was a lot there that I thought, I'm not sure about that, but the time domain give you enough time to go nice and steady on those deadlifts. If you got to the power cleans, no one's expecting to go touch and go, singles, tick, tick, tick.
I thought the scale range of everything was pretty much perfect. Like them wall walks for me, 3 reps easy, 5 reps just enough time to think about resting.
I thought it was a shit workout.
Well,
because I had a row.
Because I'm not very good at rowing.
I'm going to say.
Yeah.
You moved
I
well,
preferred week 2. I thought that was a bit more fun. It was just that last row on it, 50 calories at the end.
It was
nothing stopping you pushing on that, annoyingly.
So I was at Brough this week and we had members who'd never done it before. And to see them complete, even though a lot of them was the scaled workout, but to be fair, the scaled movement was just the wall walks. And you were still putting a lot of load through the shoulders. But yeah, I judged, I've forgotten the name, but yeah, 50 calorie rows at the end. Holding a good
Male
pace.
and female.
Yeah.
So quality.
I think regardless if you're doing scaled or RX, that check-in, if you like, the 5 wall walks and then that row, everyone was kind of finishing that row at the same level.
Yeah.
So whether you're RX or scaled, you was blowing a little bit and decided to heat up from there. So I thought it was a really nice way to start the workout, and both people felt the same thing.
So yeah, when we talk about scaling a workout and getting that same stimulus, that really was an easy one to get.
Yeah.
Just really your skill level on the wall walks was the only thing to change, wasn't it? Because you're still putting an awful lot of load just on that maybe 3 hand movements in the scaled, compared to you're probably only doing another 2 hand movements on a full wall walk.
Yeah, if you're efficient with them, yeah.
So yeah, I loved that workout. Awful to do. I'd never do it again. But afterwards, as soon as it had finished and you'd recovered, it was like a clever workout.
Yeah.
I think all 3 have been really good, to be fair. I think it's probably been one of the better programmed opens.
100% agree with that, definitely.
All round.
Yeah.
Which is a good shout. So if you don't know, and it's a game to play with Shaft next time he's on your class, you just know all workouts in that lovely head of yours, don't you?
Yeah. Give me a number, I'll tell you what it is.
He's a genius at it. So
16.1.
Here we go.
Before CrossFit, before I started.
It wasn't. You did it at Humber.
Oh no, so was it walking lunge?
Overhead walking lunge with a barbell.
Chest to bar.
Yeah.
Do your walking lunge, bar over bare peas, walking lunge back, chest to bar.
See, Oracle.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
for you to say this was probably the best open,
I think it has got a little bit of rap recently saying it's been too accessible, but
Workout 2 definitely wasn't accessible, wasn't it?
No, that was the divider. But then even if it was a divider, as always, the divider was could you get your first bar muscle up, could you get your first pull up, okay? And people was like underestimating. It's a bit meh, but to be fair, you still had to do a lot of work just to get to either that first bar muscle up or that first pull up.
Yeah.
People was totally disregarding the double unders, the thrusters.
Heavy. And 50k, we said this last week, didn't we? 50k, was like, oh, that was a wake up. Or 52 as it is.
See, I love this open for the main fact of a few opens being a bigger person. I like the bigger barbell.
If anyone can see this camera now,
Yeah.
that looks a bigger person compared to me.
And it's no camera angles. No, for me, the some opens they don't have a heavy barbell in.
No,
And
they
that
don't.
really reflects like my performance, which is my own fault. I'm lazy at the body weight movement stuff. But to have that workout where you've got 50 kilo thrusters, 60 kilo thrusters with high skill movements, and even going on to the last workout, they were relatively heavy movements, weren't they?
Yeah, 100 kilo deadlift, 60 kilo cleans.
So
52,
for me, it was
42,
a perfect balance of things I definitely need to work on.
Yeah.
Burpee, just get moving pace, but it had the better stuff for me for the high skill and the heavy weights. So
I think that's where those two, particularly the last two workouts, complement each other the same way, really.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Your wall walks, they're going to suit the more slender, smaller athlete. The barbell, not so much.
Yeah.
Same again on that second workout. The gymnastics is going to favour the more smaller, slender athlete. The thrusters favours more the heavier, strength biased. So it was quite a leveler.
Yeah.
Other than the first one, but that was purely body weight, and that was just how far can you push yourself.
But I think you do need them workouts as well. There's them slogs, don't you?
Yeah.
I think they are a big separator.
Absolutely.
So after all 3 workouts, what is the one thing you should take away and you should work on?
Same every year, you know it is. So for me, it's burpees, and we said this when we fell out doing the
I didn't fall out with you.
burpee pull-up.
You fell out with me.
He was a knob. That's all I'm going to say.
You should have got your ass off the
He
floor.
was genuinely not a nice person. So after the back of that, I was like, I need to work on burpees, and I have.
Yeah.
And for that first workout, for me, just not stopping was the achievement for not going down on my knees. But as always, just burpees, just them long slogs.
So what are you going to do about it, Al?
Probably not much. I'll be here for 26.1 going, well, I hope it's not burpees this year.
This is a 1-up and that's not going to have burpees.
I think, to be fair, like I did last year, I've put my intensity up when it comes to burpees. So if there's 30 burpees, I'll make sure 10 of them are quite high intensity and then try and hold on. And that's all I did for workouts last year. And it's paid off.
So Lois and I were talking about burpees yesterday, that it takes a long time to understand how far and how hard to push depending on your reps.
Yeah.
So just because you might be fit, you can be as fit as you want, but if you don't know how to pace a burpee or 50 burpees or 100 burpees or 10 burpees in a workout, you can ruin yourself really quick, even though it is only just a bodyweight movement.
Yeah, it's the experience coming in. Isn't it?
That's what Christian Shaw sort of brought to CrossFit, wasn't it? Is about, actually, this is about learning to pace and understanding how you can
Understand a time domain.
pace yourself on certain workouts. Yeah.
A sort of 8-minute AMRAP with burpees, your pace is going to be a lot different to what a 20-minute AMRAP would be. So don't just go face value burpee. I know how fast I can do that. Actually, how many reps is it? Absolutely. What else is going on?
So what about you? One thing to take away?
The same as you, the same thing I should do that I've known for a while. Is more steady state cardio, because that time domain of 15 minutes is always a crippler for me.
So like
Give me
zone
some
2 basically.
short, fast, love, big long slog, love. But yeah, I know I should do. I don't like running. I don't like sitting on a row. I don't like sitting on a bike. But those are definitely the things that I've known for quite a few years would really help me out in CrossFit if I was wanting to compete at more of a high level. It just sort of reinstated, I should do it. Do I like running? Yeah. Do I like sitting on a rower? Probably more than I like running.
So what are you going to do about that then? Throw it back to you.
I went for a run the other week.
Well, check you out.
Yeah.
There you go, that's it, till next year then.
No, I do need to do something about it, really, because it's the same thing every year. But I just love doing a Metcon. If I have an opportunity of an hour to do a Metcon or go for a run, I'd take a Metcon all day long. I just think you get so much bang for your buck doing CrossFit Metcons. But we'll see.
So before
we'll keep addressing it on these podcasts.
What's your one then, Dan?
I'm alright, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say you're doing well this year.
Nah, always. Every open that I see, my percentile drops when it comes to the strength or the heavy lifting one. Every year I say the same. I need to get a little bit stronger. If I want to go up a percentile, am I going to do that? Like Liam said, I like doing a Metcon. I think doing strength work, that's the easy thing to do though, is do what you love, do what you enjoy.
So I was just about to say,
that's what's going to make the difference, is doing the things that you don't enjoy.
when we talk to members, it's about cherry picking workouts and we tell them not to. I think that's an
We're humans.
example. All 3 of us have just said
Yeah,
repeatedly.
but we're all, not to sound dickish, but in the top 10% in the world doing just CrossFit.
No, yeah.
We don't focus on a strength program because we want to get stronger or go on a 6-week running block. We just do CrossFit classes, and I dropped 1 percentile this year. I'll take that, especially with my little annoying glute injury, which kept me out of training for the beginning of this year. And it's just Metcons. It's just our CrossFit class programming. I don't do any of the compete track. I don't think either of you two really do, yeah? Occasionally.
I do a little bit of the
Bit
open track
yeah.
stuff,
But I don't. I
again-
literally just do the classes. So it proves again that CrossFit and being consistent with CrossFit does work.
So I'll throw something a bit different out then. What is the CrossFit Open to you?
For me, it's what we do with the gyms, the community side of it. I like doing the CrossFit Open, and it's good to gauge where you're at and make sure like your training is working. Because if I'd have dropped 20%, I'd have gone, shit, what's happened here?
Yeah.
But 1% with a little excuse in there. But it's a good test. It's good to see you progress, because every Open we do, we're getting older as well.
Yeah.
I know we're not that old, but 39 this year, 36.
I was 43 last time I checked on Instagram. Mate.
Blame Dean that.
Go either.
So yeah, the fact that I can still maintain those high level percentiles while still getting a little bit older, just doing CrossFit, is reassuring that what we do and what we deliver as gyms is working, because we're making the proof ourselves there. But I love the Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
As we said before, best 3 weeks. And do I want more people to sign up to the Open, or do I want more people to sign up to the Friday Night Lights? I'd probably say Friday Night Lights. It'd be good if more people signed up. It makes it look like we're doing more with the gym, but we don't get anything from CrossFit, to be honest. We don't get a little kickback. I'm sure people think the way I go on about it sometimes, that we earn money from it, but we don't. We get absolutely nothing other than our name goes on Instagram posts that a few people look at, mainly gym owners who care about it. So yeah, that's why I do the Open.
What about you, Dan?
From a coach's point of view, it's again seeing either first timers do it, like, whoa, what's going on here? Walking on Friday night, like, what on earth is this?
It's a bit of a shock, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's like sensory overload. People getting like the firsts, which we're going to go through, but
Yeah.
I think they will. When you see them first get the first thing, or they do a weight that they're not used to, like, oh my god, and now it's great. It's like, right, you're not going back now.
Yeah,
you're
we've
going to
seen
keep
it.
out.
Yeah.
No chance. From a personal point of view, it's literally the cheapest annual health check you can do. Okay.
Yes.
What is it? 16 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can see exactly where you are in terms of fitness. We know the fitter we are, the more healthy or the further up that wellness spectrum we are. So I always use that as a bit of a where I am at this year, and it'll replicate. You get out what you put in. And as I look back through the years, I can say, right, this year didn't do so well. What happened at this year? This happened, right? It's context in it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one thing that sometimes people, when I ask them about signing up the Open, they're like, no, because I don't want to compare myself to the rest of the world. Like,
It's not about that, is it?
that's one part of it.
Yeah.
If I look back on like 3 years ago, I don't know what everyone else did, but I know what I did, and I can see year on year where I'm at. So I think that's the coolest thing for me, is it just reflects what year of training you've had.
Yeah.
What you've had on either personally, time-wise, fitness-wise. You can kind of just see that story, which is great.
Big changes that people have. Divorces is a good one.
Yeah.
But new kids,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
new jobs, outside stresses, how they influence what you're doing in training. So again, like Dan said, you can look back and be like, oh, that was that year. I know exactly what happened that year. Right, okay, move on. And have you ever looked who's actually around you on the leaderboard?
What on the app?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see where you are.
No, no, genuinely, I mean, like, outside our gym list,
Oh no.
I couldn't tell you who was above me.
Oh no.
I've never known who was above me.
No.
For
But-
me, the best thing about the
But I think that's what people think it is. People
Yeah,
think
yeah.
everyone's constantly comparing. Like,
No, I don't look and go,
it's your own. It's your own snapshot.
some Americans above me by 3 places, damn.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's about, I just look at that percentile. That is my go-to, like you say, health marker or training marker, consistency marker. It's there to give you an indication of so many different.
So I think the biggest thing for me, do you know they 25.2? So that was originally done 23.2.
Yeah.
23.3.
23.3.
Yeah.
So that's a couple of years ago, and to look at that workout, I had a look. I think I did 178 reps. So that was not finishing the muscle ups. And the only thing I was looking at as soon as that was announced was like, I'm beating my last score. There's no question about it. So I think having that marker to hand to be like, actually, and you can have a look at any workouts where there's like a progression of a scale, like pull-ups to chest to bars to muscle ups. I'd be looking at that going, so 2 years ago I couldn't finish that, That was the only thing. So this year finished it with 2 minutes to spare. No matter what happened for the rest of that Open, it was an achievement.
So you wasn't looking at anyone else's score on that. You weren't asked about anyone else's. It was what you did.
And dropped to the floor and was like, this year's been worth it. And I think them little movements where you could quite easily be like, I'm not progressing in the gym because everyone else is becoming awesome with you. That's the one thing that you can.
They're just reminders, aren't they?
That, and the workouts are extremely different every year, aren't they? But generically, they do slot everyone into the right place, don't they?
Yeah. Because it is a broad test.
The CrossFit Open score to maybe the generic leaderboard on the WOD boards. They're not too dissimilar.
No.
Roughly. I know they're changing about a bit.
I do get quite a bit of stick from members like, where have you been, Ollie?
Yeah, well.
But we still train, believe it or not. People don't think we do. But just because we do it, we get a chance to attend a class.
That's a great point. It kind of shows that you don't need to redline every session.
No.
You listen to your body. There's some days of the week where you think, right, this is it, I'm going to have this. The coach is giving the pace and strategy and stuff, but I just want to rip off today and just go.
Well, we say
that's cool, but you can't do that every day.
Try twice a week.
Yeah.
And we do it on the things that we really like doing, don't
we? But training's of that, isn't it? It's training.
It's training. It's practice.
Yeah.
And you can look at the CrossFit Open as then your performance piece, so then you can step it up.
Absolutely.
There's nothing else to give. So yeah, I think I enjoy the CrossFit Open, and it doesn't upset me when people don't do it. I think it's.
I was disappointed by a few people
because I think people maybe look at it as a bit something it's not. I think if it is just what you said, brilliant, just a health marker every year. But for me, it's just a record of improvement. So I think my first Open was 70% in the world, and then every year, probably only 3-4% a year, but it's going up. And I don't think one year I'll be like, right, I'm happy now.
No, keep
always
going.
wanting to go up more. But
and every 5 years you get to go in an older category.
And then you drop down a little bit.
I went up. Oh my God. When we went to 35 to 39.
Oh, your percentage went up, didn't it?
Yeah. Percentile.
Yeah.
So, from saying all this, what moments have stood out for you over the 3 sites? Because
we made some notes, haven't we, on this one?
You've been to all 3 sites. So, CrossFit Brust's first Open.
Yeah.
I went last week. That was quite special just in its own, not even a special moment. To see people who've been doing CrossFit 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Not necessarily the workout, but Carl and Simon, last workout, head to head on the row.
Did you know Carl didn't get off the last row?
I was stood there.
And surprisingly, forgot to submit his score.
Did he really?
Again?
Doesn't sound like Carl.
It's not like Carl's done that before, is it?
So I forgot if he got sub 15.
Yeah.
No.
I had the whole gym stood up cheering, picking a side, and the place was booming. There must have been 40 people screaming at 2 coaches, absolutely giving their all, and you could look back and go, this is awesome.
Decent, yeah.
This is good.
Very good.
For a very new community. So that for me is probably the standout moment.
So when the Open started 3 weeks ago, Bruff was only 4 weeks old?
Yeah.
4 weeks old, yeah.
And that is a hard sell, by the way.
Yeah, it's a hard sell to experienced members.
Simon and Carl have done an outstanding job to sell something so daunting and to have such a good turnout.
Yeah, they've done good. Fair play, boys. Shame you didn't submit your last score.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I won't mention it again.
It's not like he's done it before.
No one else will know.
No.
Yeah, just between us 3.
So we have made a couple of notes, haven't we, on a couple of standouts. Obviously, I think we said for Bruff, fair play to everybody.
Yeah.
For standing and getting in there. So Humber, I suppose the boys at the top for Humbers was Plumber. Like, you only have to see the guy and think he should be winning it.
Yeah, but for a year. So people may look at Plumber and be like, well, you've done CrossFit for like a decade. I know he had a little stint, didn't he, before I would remember. But he's only really been back in his skill level.
He puts the work in, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like, he's gone from not being able to do double unders, really poor at snatching, muscle ups. He's now super efficient on everything. And what people probably don't see is the amount of work he does put in around a class.
I'll get there at 5:45 in the morning.
Yeah, he'll be there.
And he'll be in there. He'll either be doing some mobility, or he'll be doing some accessory work.
He does a lot of the stuff that we say
to do.
What
we should do
outside of a class, but he actually does it.
Yeah. But we're talking maybe half an hour at best.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So we know time.
I've seen how many times he comes in that open gym during the day.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's in
more than half hour.
Yeah. Well, he's in more frequent than anyone else.
But then the results have shown that
Absolutely,
quick.
yeah.
So just like you said, you get what you put in.
Yeah.
I think Plummer's diet's absolutely on point, nailed. He does all the extra
Oh,
stuff.
he does. God,
Yeah.
he looks
So
sexy.
yeah, someone who deserves the results they've got.
And then the
For
other
me,
person
exactly.
was Ellis, who has transformed himself with some serious nutrition.
A lot can be said for nutrition with
Yeah.
that. Definitely.
So he's gone.
Let's talk
I
about
mean, I don't think
trying to
I
get
could eat the
scored,
same meal
Let's talk
every
about-
day, but he does.
I think he's
Yeah.
gone up 10%, 10-15%. I think.
Yeah, I
At
was
least
trying to
15,
find it then.
At least 15%. I'm sure he was like around 75th percentile.
During
Like
a
he's
year.
now hitting 95s plus.
Yeah, really good. And nutrition. I know he's consistent with his training, but nutrition for him.
I think to also, and I know people will be like, it's the Open, it don't matter to anyone. It's personal goals. Like I know Ellis getting that bigger percentage jump and being, I think he finished 95% in the world. That for him is like.
It just proves all that hard work that he's done.
It's a bit of
paying off, isn't
justification, isn't it?
Yeah. And then on the girls, so we'd mentioned Kelly Craven
Yeah.
last week before.
So
I
consistent.
think she's done all 3 RX, which is really good. She really scaled the weight today though. Last night. So she got a bit of a tut for that. But anyway, she's done really, really good.
Chucked you under the bus.
Yeah. I'm good at that. But yeah, really good. Laura Ward. Dan said you can't talk about
Yeah,
her
you
because
can't
it'd be favouritism.
I will then. So, Wardy's had a problem with a wrist for, what, a year?
2 years probably now, isn't it?
Yeah. 2 years plus.
So, she wraps it up endlessly. It's something she's got to work around, I believe.
Adapted a lot of training.
I'll tell you what, she's never once moaned about it. She's never been like, I can't do this workout. But she hasn't to me. She's always we've always come up with a workaround, and it's been like, yeah, okay, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, she does. She works around it.
And this workout, this Open, for her to finish in what, the second in the gym?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the alien
Yeah,
front.
yeah.
So.
I think she was really high up
Yeah.
in the overall leaderboard.
Yeah, I think she was. I'm going to get this wrong now. I'm going to be in trouble. But I think it was around sort of top 70 in UK,
So
or maybe around top 100 to top 70.
that's insane.
Yeah.
It is.
And to have such, and if you think about everything you need your wrist for and all the movements we talked about, cleaning, snatching, wall walks, that must have been a chore. But she's
And those who can see this, she did the wall walk on one knuckle, or on one fist, I say, and the other on one hand.
Yeah.
And when she started, I almost thought, oh, bless her. That's a right kick in the teeth for her, that. But she did it.
Adapt and overcome.
Yeah.
did.
So really, really good.
And you could and she's not missed many sessions
I know she
throughout
doesn't,
all this
yeah.
from when this was diagnosed to current time. She comes, we adapt,
Yeah.
and she does it. There's no sort of, I can't do that, I'm not going to bother coming.
I'm not going to lie though, sometimes it is a pain to think about how you can change the movement to not use a
Yeah,
wrist.
but it makes us better
Oh, it
coaches,
does,
I think.
yeah.
Definitely.
And but yeah, to see her do that and to perform at the level she did just shows actually if you do come with an injury or a mobility problem, we can adapt, and that we've done that long term, haven't we? So
I saw
really
how
impressive.
excited she was with that first workout.
Yeah.
And I usually say to Waddy, what's a rush? And she's like, what? You want me to go fast? But on this workout, I said to her,
Break off.
go so fast that you'll hold on. I was like, you will hold on, push from the start.
Yeah, cheers, mate. She beat me in that workout.
Yeah. Well, she tied with me, so it worked out all right. But yeah, I saw that first round. I think I was judging Hayley next to her. And sorry, Hayley, to say this, but I think she'd lapped Hayley literally by the end of round one. She'd done round. She was really shifting, so fair play. And the other one that we've got is Sorrel. I hope Sorrel don't mind us disclosing her age, but Sorrel's 47.
Pocket rocket.
Absolute pocket rocket. Again, somebody who's worked on nutrition this year from the January sort of challenge that we did. And Wardy did as well, didn't she?
Yeah.
Wardy's worked on the nutrition from that January
Still
challenge.
in the 800 Gs.
Yeah, really good. And Sorrel, and I think it was week 2, she had a really bad dose of flu or cold.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
she
she did.
pushed the workout back to the Monday. Normally we'd try to do it on Friday, but you do get it till the Monday, so she did that. So she hung in there, and I think behind Laura Ward at Humber, is Sorrel. I'm sure it is, yeah. So a really good shout out for Sorrel. Like I say, 47, still a spring chicken to some, but absolutely smashed that.
And to be fair, some of them workouts, that Rowan workout, you've got 100 calorie buy in and buy out.
And she's tiny, isn't
For
she?
someone that size,
Yeah.
that's a workout.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
so to
She grabs really good.
set them out as well.
And then there's loads more names that we could shout out with.
We could
Humber
probably
in
talk
there.
about every single member, to be
Yeah.
fair, and what moment they've had in the Open.
Yeah,
Yeah,
doing really
definitely.
good.
So,
Simon
yeah.
Jones, we said about, doing
James,
really well.
Samik,
Ericsson in some of the first workouts again.
just endless.
Yeah. Lucy in at Chester Bars.
Yeah, just couldn't do one, did 18.
Massive.
Some people first open and been with us long. So we said about Woody, so Rachel Woodford, we call her Woody now.
Yeah.
Thanks to Stevie.
Yeah.
Another story. But Woody had joined us last May, I think it was, and had never really attended a gym, done a bit of running on the side. I said to her, I like a challenge, when she said, I bet I do your heading. But consistent with her training, did the Open. She did tell me where she placed. About 30th percentile. But she's, again, not to throw someone's age out there, but she's 50, looks fantastic, and put some graft in.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool when we, as coaches, can look down that board and we've all got our own stories of people. It's a nice, it sounds really cheesy, a bit of a proud moment to see people do so well at the Open and
Yeah.
Proud dad moment.
yeah.
And that's what they keep trying to take the piss call on me, proud.
I don't care where you are on that board.
Yeah.
No.
Even if you are bottom, you're in a pool full of really, really fit people.
Yeah.
If you compare that to the rest of the world, you're going to be like 80% fitter than Joe Boggs down the street,
So
which is incredible.
There was
I think some people get skewed.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I underestimate how fit members are.
yeah,
Because we're surrounded by it all the time.
we're not. This isn't normal, is it?
No, no, it's not.
I think wherever you go,
You can't be
you're
normal
in
and do
the
this.
top percentage of. You do the school run, you go to the cinema. I like to think wherever you go, you are in the top percentile of elite fitness.
Yeah.
And I know
General
that sounds
fitness.
You'll
really cheesy.
be
but,
the alpha dead on your new street.
Yeah.
yeah, and I know it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I think that is the nice thing about. It's really hard to see you improving when everyone else is improving.
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
So that important race of just you versus you, again, extremely cheesy. I think that's the only way you can measure that metric, and so
Yeah. That's the only thing you're going to see is your score from last year, no one else's.
yeah.
Your weakness, what do I need to work on?
So I was at Humber for 1 week and absolutely loved it. The really good atmosphere as well.
So last one then, CrossFit Hull. I don't get to go to Hull because I run the Humber nights. Pete's at Hull sorting that out. Don't think either of you got to Hull.
I went for about an hour on the first night before I went to
Oh,
Brough.
to Brough, yeah.
Rammed.
Yeah, really
good.
probably biggest atmosphere, biggest attendance, best atmosphere, I'd say,
Absolutely.
that we've had at Hull, which is really good. And Hull, for those who haven't been, is a big old space to create any sort of
Yeah,
atmosphere.
yeah.
It is a bit big.
I used
So
to hate coaching there for that one reason.
yeah, it's loud, isn't it?
Wow.
So top of the leaderboard, Brad
Wow.
Grafter, 70 places outside the
Yeah.
top 1%
Yeah.
in the world, which will taking him to semi-finals. So
I think he went
kind of a kick in the teeth, but also
0.06%.
yeah,
Top 1% goes to semis.
absolutely fantastic.
But
Really,
again,
really good.
If you have a look at Brad's post, he put a little post up saying like he's gutted, not with his performance, but gutted he didn't make it, which is understandable. But it just proves whether you're 99% or 50%, you're never going to be overly happy. You always want to do that little bit better,
yeah.
don't you?
Which is brilliant, isn't it?
That's the nature of the beast, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
You
You'll
say, I
find
did this,
every
but
member.
like sometimes we need to acknowledge what we've done sometimes, and we all find it hard to do because it's always I should have done this.
But that is unbelievable elite level fitness and to
Yeah.
do what he's done.
Top level.
Yeah.
And then Ellie, topped it for the ladies.
Yeah, and again, she puts a lot of graft in, and she can shift when she wants to
Yeah.
massively.
Did you not beat her on 2 of the 3 workouts?
No,
Yeah.
is this why we haven't brought Pete in?
Pete was invited to come. He actually finished above me in the end, twat.
No, it's
Ouch.
That's why I brought it up.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So again, Pete, you know what? we're giving member shout outs and stuff. I want to give Pete a shout out.
Yeah.
Like the last workout.
Yeah, quick, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's incredible. For someone who notoriously doesn't like heavy weights.
We actually text that through on the WhatsApp group. I thought, he's just winding me up. I generally thought, he hadn't done that. He's just winding me up.
So I give Pete a shout out from the whole side, because that for me, when Pete said 15 minutes, I was like, what's he on about? That had a heavy barbell in. So yeah,
it did good.
Again though, you get out what you put in, and people say
he does
to be
put a
fair,
lot of training in.
he does.
Yeah.
He enjoys it. He trains with very similar people. That helps.
Yeah, I mean, Brad must have dragged him through then. Could be the only explanation. We ain't got a Brad.
We've got a Craig Rutter.
We've got a Craig Bro.
Yeah.
Bench day. Moving on. Jess Walker.
Yeah.
Just behind Ellie.
First bar muscle up.
Yeah. Insane engine as Jess Walker, hasn't she?
She got multiple as well that day.
Yeah. She didn't just get one. So I think Jess, probably don't mind me saying, probably lacks a bit of strength and technique. So when that comes along,
Oh, absolutely.
she's going to be absolutely flying. So big shout out, little Phoebes. Gotta love little Phoebe.
Yeah, another pocket rocket.
Yeah, absolutely flying
Smashed
again.
over 200 reps on that first workout.
Yeah.
Flying.
And then we've got down Becky Greenwood. So you know a bit more of Becky's story than we do.
Yeah. So Becky's been through quite a lot. Sort of lacked a lot of confidence coming into the gym. I think she's only been doing CrossFit, top of my head, maybe 2 months, 3 months maybe.
Just before Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah. Really unsure about the typical CrossFit. You know, a lot of scary monsters there. I don't want to go in. She's come in and she's just absolutely flew. Confidence every time we see her is getting bigger and bigger. So from where she was to now, I think probably it'd be good to get her in and have a chat with her. She'll tell the story a lot better than I will. But to compete in your first Open is massive, and she just comes in. She's coachable and she enjoys it. She always leaves with a smile on her face, which is epic.
It makes it easier if that's your attitude as well to it, doesn't it?
Definitely. Mindset.
Yeah.
Mindset's biggie.
Brilliant. So if we wrap up the Open chat there, I think all in all we all agree it's been a great Open. Some great standout characters in the Open. Great performances as well as just people turning up. We should actually thank team captains just to finish off.
Yeah.
So we had, with Carl running Brough, Carl's always been one of our team captains at Humber. So Sophie and Lydia didn't appreciate the name of Flid. I thought it was brilliant play on words, that one. And then Wardy and Haley, team captains again, so big shout out to those. At Hull, they had Pete, actually took on team captain, didn't he?
Pete, Dan,
And
aka Asher, because Dan panned it off onto Asher.
Something like that.
it sounds like Pete.
Give Meg a break.
And
Lewis
and Smithy,
yeah. So big shout out to those guys. And then Carl and Simon took care of everything at Brough. So next year Brough expect to name some team captains to help out with, and they do massively help out because from the minute of the announcement going out on a Thursday evening to literally kicking people out of the gym at 8:30, 9 o'clock on the night, it for us is absolute chaos. It's full on, like I think you said it, Elliot, it's like a explosion in your face, isn't it? And like you walk in on that Friday Night Lights,
especially them workouts aren't really designed for 5 minutes in and out, next person.
No.
They've got half an hour stints, aren't they? And to fit a full the full gym through, the last thing you want to be thinking is, have I done enough food?
Yeah, so they take off loads of stress away from us for that, so thank you for that. And then the last one we're going to talk about is the little in-house mixed pairs comp.
Yes.
And on cue, we have one of the workouts.
Oh, well done, come through.
Peter has sent it through. So if I don't butcher this as I read it out.
I knew there was a reason we didn't silence our phones and look unprofessional.
So have we got a live announcement?
Yeah.
Live announcement of the workout.
Might change slightly,
It's
put after testing them, because Fair Play does always test everything. So WOD 1, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes as AMRAPs. 3 rounds, 12 synchronized dumbbell snatch, 9 synchronized dumbbell squat, 6 synchro line face burpees into an AMRAP of calories on the bike. So if you get that work done in 2 minutes, it gives you a minute. At the 3-minute mark, you go back into the 12, the 9, the 6, the 12, the 9, 6, the 12, 9, 6. Again, back onto the bike, and then obviously that last 4-minute round gives you a little bit more time to score as many calories as possible.
Are you releasing these workouts straight away? Because this podcast will be going out pretty much.
Yeah. This is the point.
Okay.
So we want people to see the workouts, to look at them and go, actually, I can do that. Because on that, you've got a dumbbell, which scaled intermediate RX will all have different weights. Easy accessible movements. Burpees, not everybody loves them, but very accessible. And then it's just you score on the bike as well. So quite simple.
Simple but effective, that one.
The bike.
Yeah.
Tasty.
I love the partner comp because you get a bit of rest.
Yeah.
That one, not much rest there. You
Your rest is the bike, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whilst your partner's cranking out some calories on the bike,
Yeah.
you have a rest.
Just way too long.
And I think we'll probably, to make it 2-scoring event, I'm going to announce this now, Pete, is we'll probably score the final bike separate to the other 2 rounds.
Okay.
Ooh, so you got to leave some in.
Yeah, so you can score that. Workout 2. So again, this is scalable for the intermediate and for the scaled workout. So it's 50 calorie row, but this is between 2 of you. 40 toes to bar, again between 2 of you. 20 synchro thruster, so that's both of you doing the thruster. 40 calorie row shared between you. 30 toes to bar shared between you. 15 synchro thruster, both working. 30 calorie row, 20 toes to bar, 10 synchro thrusters.
Like that. Yeah.
So, good tasty workout. Scaling options would be, this is an RX movement, so your intermediate, we would probably reduce the amount of toes to bar. Again, I'm just guessing here until it's tested. Your thruster weight would be lighter than the RX weight. You'd scale the toes to bar again. Your thruster weight again would be lighter, and you'd scale the final set of toes to bar. On the scaled, those toes to bar may well go to sit-ups even, or knee raises. And we usually do sit-ups over knee raises because they're just a bit easier to judge.
Yeah.
A knee raise, legs can be all over the place really. And again, the thruster weight would go lighter again. So let's say it was 42 and 30 for RX. Your intermediate might go to 35, 25, and your scaled might go to 30 and 20.
Yeah.
So very accessible workout so far, and we will be putting another one in there, which I'm hoping that will go for some sort of weightlifting complex, because it's always fun with a weightlifting complex.
Again, like 2 different workouts there. One's like a very sprinty, I go, you go, not much rest. Next one more chipper, where you're going to have to sort of plan a little bit more. Like
So,
that.
what would you say to people that are? I get loads of people saying, I'm not fit enough to do comps, I'm not this. And I do get their idea when we say an in-house competition that if you're not going to be in the top 3, what's the point in going kind of mindset. What is the idea for this one? Because I know the idea of an in-house comp is meant to be maybe an extension of the Friday Night Lights, kind of like community fitness.
I think it is for those people who are a bit sort of on the fence about doing a comp. When you go to an outsider's box, you're going out of your comfort zone.
It's definitely more for those people.
Yeah. So now it's going to be for those people who are a bit on the fence with that. They're going to be able to go into a familiar surrounding. Yeah, granted it's going to be at Hull if you're from Humber, but you're going to be working out with the same people. It'll essentially be like a class. You're still going to be training against or with the same people. So I think it's just that nice little entry level. If you are thinking about a comp, but like a bit scary going somewhere else, you can see what it's about there.
And it will be exactly like a comp.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to be any different to what you'd experience.
No, that's
down
the whole
road.
point. So the comp floor will be set up, all the barriers, railings will be out, you'll come through, I'll be on the front desk, you'll register like you will do a normal comp, so know everyone's there. We'll do the brief like a normal comp, there'll be a specific warm-up area. Because it is in-house, we are going to get you to judge each other effectively. So heat 1 goes, heat 3 would judge heat 1, heat 2 goes, heat 4 would judge, and so on. So you judge and then you go off to get warmed up, which also helps manage the warm-up space actually, because you can't be jumping in there
So it's the
unnecessary.
same structure as a proper comp, like a full competition, but with more of a class vibe, Friday Night Lights kind of everybody mucking in.
And we spoke in the coaches group about coaches jumping in and partner up with people who potentially is the first comp, I think nearly all our coaches have done comps in the past, so they know what to expect. They'll be able to help them, strategize some of the workouts, especially that chipper. And so far, we've had Craig Russell, of all people, put his hand up and sign up with Michelle.
Out of retirement.
Yeah.
Dragged him out of retirement.
Sean's coming out of retirement for this one as well, apparently.
I feel sorry for Michelle. You don't know what you signed up for there. Dragging him along.
Yeah. Have you ever carried a bloke on your shoulders for a day? So yeah, and I think Lois was talking. There's talk of Lois doing it with old Mark.
Mark, yeah.
I ain't spoke to me about me and Pete doing it, but again, I'm sure there's enough of us on the day that if people were wanting to do it, that Pete and I could jump in and do it with somebody who's looking to do the first comp as well.
I like to think, and I know, hindsight, probably my first competition I did, I was extremely nervous, not sure about doing it, and I come from a bit of a competing background.
Tell us what world record you got.
Yeah, here we go. I hate this. Can't wait for someone to beat it, then it's gone. For a competition, for me, it's you kind of, like we said about the Open, you go to that next level of intensity, and then it taught me afterwards, I can push myself like that. So then when it comes to training, I knew that I had that extra level to touch into that I think you only really get from competing.
Yeah.
I think that also helps the other way, that you realise that you don't need to push as hard as you would do in a competition. Because there will be some people that kill themselves on a class, crawl out the door, like they would do in a competition, actually go, that's competition level. I know when I'm training, I don't need to be at that level all the time.
I think there's a lot of value in doing a competition, only because it's a few workouts a day, so you've got that intensity over a long period, haven't you?
We're going to be finished for 1 as well.
Oh, which is really short for a comp.
Yeah, it's Derby Day, so
Winning.
And it's a good community atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you are listening to this and you're not sure about doing it, or you're not sure who to do it with, I always say I like to play Cupid and pair people up, sort of similar abilities, and it'll be the coaches, myself, Pete and Dan probably, who sit down and put people into the right categories as well. So if you do typically RX, your class workouts, expect to be in that RX. Even if you can't do a bar muscle up, we'll be programming it to suit our members. Those who would normally scale a workout, expect to be in scaled. Those who kind of flutter between scaled workouts some days, if it's gymnastics that slows you down, but sometimes you can do RX, you'll probably be placed in that intermediate. We see you train all week, every week, so we're not going to be putting you in the wrong categories.
Yeah, remember we know you, and we only want the best for you, so it's not.
Promise I won't sling you under a bus.
We're not going to stitch you up. So put your name down, and worst case, it's only people in the gym that you're up against, isn't it? So
And I was talking about this the other day to someone about, they were talking about the competition, like, I'm really nervous about doing one. But on a competition day, the worst part is waiting to go on, innit? As soon as you walk onto the competition floor,
you forget you're in a comp, don't you?
You forget you're in a comp, and it's just, you're just on your reps, and all you focus on is getting through the workout.
School run.
Like, the hardest thing is waiting to get on. Once you're on, it is just like a workout, really, except you go a little bit harder. Just like the Open.
That doesn't go either, though, does it? Because we did Ray Mills a couple months ago. Well, we were supposed to. I did Ray Mills a couple months ago. Again, before that first workout, sick feeling, don't want to, why have I done this? Start working out.
Yeah, I'm working
no
on
different
it.
to everyone every other day.
You can only do what you can do.
Yeah.
If somebody's moving faster next year, so be it. It's not the end of the world, is it?
No,
good.
So that is and that's going to be our first in-house competition, isn't it?
Yeah,
so.
We haven't actually done any. We've done Halloween throwdowns, which is more
team stuff.
Yeah, less like an actual comp though.
Yeah,
it's pretty much a bit of a throwdown. With obviously the pairings, hopefully it'll be a little bit more competitive as well.
Yeah,
which is always nice. Although if you see Liam and Nelly partnered up together, you know who's done the pairings.
That's never going to happen.
Ellie said no chance. I looked to one better.
She can't keep up. No, I said this. Ellie was going to do it with Dan, as in coach Dan Spence, and I said that's a bit boring, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
You need to go with somebody. The whole point is it's supposed to be fun and in a house, and that's the same all round, really. As much as it's good that you'd go and win a competition, and that's any member, it's not really about that.
Yeah.
It's about getting everybody involved, and this is from the feedback from the survey as well. So people wanted in-house competitions, people wanted more community events, so we're doing what people asked for. So yeah, if you want to go and win it and beat your fellow members, fair, but I think it'd be better all round for everybody if we make it a little bit more competitive and pair people up who normally wouldn't pair up. So like, I said to Ellie, I said, what about someone like Ben Lowry, who is ticking all the RX boxes, has competed before, but would probably find...
And does not know how to pace.
Yeah.
So that'd be a fun combo.
Yeah, because Ellie doesn't know how to pace, unfortunately. Where if Dan Spence was to go with Meg, for instance, Meg out is intermediate, really. Yeah. She can do pull-ups, can do some toes to bar, I think, actually.
Yeah. I hate couples who work out. I'm just going to put that out.
But that's the same as like you and Laura going together.
Yeah.
You'd probably win.
Should be dragging me.
So that's why I say it's going to be a bit boring if they're just turning up and partner up. So we want it to be as fun as possible. There is obviously a bit of competitive to it, but we don't want any runaway teams, if that makes sense, in our own community.
Yeah, so it's more community based, which is good. I think you'll get quite a lot of uptake on it.
I hope so, because people ask for it.
And if we do, I'm guessing there may be more to come.
Yes, so if this one goes well, we'll do the same-sex pairs in September. But yeah, we do want people to sign up to it, obviously, that's the whole point. You know, we personally won't be getting much from it.
And I think finally, coming up soon, Beach Comp. Have we got any more updates on Beach Comp?
No, there's still tickets available for the mixed fours. All tickets are still available, actually. So we didn't release it as early this year as we did last year. So tickets went on general sale in February, so there is still tickets available. But mixed fours is all abilities. So we give scaling options on the day if need be. Typical workout, if there's four of you, there's 122 kilo dumbbell, 2 15s and 110. So you can mix and match that between your team, and you can share it as you want, split it how you want. Gymnastics, typical toes to bar would go to knee raises, pull-ups would go to jumping pull-ups, and then on the...
We're going to use the rig this time.
Yeah, we don't want to set the rig, and we're looking at buying a rig for the beach actually, so we don't want to buy a rig for it not to get used, so please don't rain. And on the Sunday we've got scaled, intermediate and RX as mixed pairs. So if you enjoy the April one, we'll see you on the beach,
the next one.
In the sunshine.
We pray.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you for Shad for coming on today, giving a big insight, and honestly, come up with any of the open workouts. It's a fun game.
I can't believe you've not asked me for a fact, if I'm honest with you.
Oh, go on then. He's obviously been
factoid
this whole time.
He's wrote one down.
So I've not. Open statistics, a bit nerding out. So, did you know? And I use this on what was the workout with the toaster bar bike?
Monday.
Yeah, Monday. So it was 500 meters.
Yeah.
So a cadence on a bike.
Oh, Matt told you this.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know this.
He told me it this morning. Yeah. I ruined his fact.
Yeah.
Go on.
And I was going to shout out Matt, to be fair.
Yeah.
So your cadence on a bike.
Yeah.
Do that for a minute. Times it by 10. That's the amount of meters you'll get. So if you do 50 RPM,
I'll get 500
I'll
meters.
give you 500 meters.
Is that just the road bikes?
That's just the Echo bikes.
Yeah. Right. And there's a calorie one as well,
Tried and
isn't
tested. Yeah, the calorie one does a conversion for wattage as well.
So if you're sitting at 400 watts, divide it by 20 or divide it by 2. If you do the maths that way, that would give you 20 calories in a minute.
I'm not going to lie, and from everyone who's been on a class before, I'm really disappointed.
Why?
Normally it's something to do with like middle-aged France and some other cool fact.
I thought I'd make it more topical.
But then
a bit more educational for the
bollards near the
viewers.
The port.
Oh yeah.
See, they're cool facts.
Do you know where the saying "piss poor" comes from?
No.
When you piss poor. So when there was short of cash, they used to all piss in a pot. The family, they'd sell that to the tanners, and they'd tan leather in the piss.
There we go.
And to get some money. And then if you was too poor, you couldn't afford a pot to piss in.
So you can't
afford a pot to piss in.
Yeah.
See, they're the facts we want.
That was more fun than what someone else had told you.
Sorry, going too smart.
Yeah. I mean, keep this
right.
Our viewers are not interested in wattage and calories, and we're interested in piss.
Being piss poor.
Yeah. French statistics.
Pot to piss in. I like that one. Cool. Right. Goodbye.
Yeah. Thank you.
See you soon. Bye.